Hello everyone. So from today onwards, we'll be starting class 6th Social Science of Karnataka State Syllabus. So in the first part book, we are going to start the first lesson, that is Introduction to History. So basically we are studying what is history in this chapter. So as history is an important part in the social science. So this history is very important for your education journey, okay, till you study. So let's learn. So the first topic is what is history. So what is history? History is this systematic presentation of the past events. Okay, so this history is the systematic presentation of the past events. Okay, so this history introduces the journey of human beings. This tells the journey of human beings, and it also tells the failures and success of humans in that journey. So history is a systematic presentation of the past events, and it introduces the journey of human beings and what are the failures they done and what are the success which are obtained to human beings in their journey. While explaining historical incidents, the accuracy of time, place, person is maintained. Okay, so these are the things which are maintained while discussing history or while writing history. Okay, so while explaining history, the first thing we need is the accuracy of time and place where it had happened and person, so with whom it had happened. That means when the incident took place. Okay, the accuracy of time means when this incident took place, where. Okay, place means where, and this person means by whom. Okay, so these are maintained. So now these would be clear in history. Okay, so without these clarities, history becomes a story. So children, without these all qualities and clarities, the history would become a story. So let's observe the difference which is between history and a story. So let's read a sentence of one story. So basically stories will be like this. Once upon a time there was a king in a place. He fought a war. So this is the story. So if we see this sentence in a historical way, history, how will the historians write history? So Ashoka, who ruled Pataliputra in 261 BCE, fought the Kalinga War. So here see these all clarities are maintained. So by whom? That is Ashoka. And what he ruled? Pataliputra. He ruled Pataliputra. Okay, and accuracy of time. Okay, and he fought the Kalinga War. So these are all maintained. So this is the difference between history and a story. So now let's study why we want history. Why we want history. Students, what happens if you touch the flame of a fire? It burns, doesn't it? This is experience. So, if you touch a flame of fire, it burns. No, if you touch a flame of fire with your finger will burn. So this is an experience, and you will not touch that fire again because you know that it will burn. You have already experienced it. No, so we call this as memory. Okay, so the experience which is experienced by you is known as memory, recollection, and retention. Okay, so now what would have happened if humans did not have memory at all? What would be happen, children, if humans did not have a memory at all? He would have committed the same mistake again and again. So if humans did not have any memory, we would have committed the same mistake again and again. So, if we will be committing the same mistake, in that case, the progress of human beings was not possible. As a human being need memory to progress, so a society or a nation need memory to progress. Okay, so children, as a human being, okay, as a human being need memory to progress. Why he need memory? To progress, memory is needed. So in same way, a nation, okay, a nation also needs memory. Okay, nation also needs memory to progress. It is inevitable, and this is inevitable. Then what can be assumed as memory for a society or nation? Then sorry then what can be assumed as a memory for a society or nation? As we know that human beings need memory to progress, and a nation also need memory to progress. So what is a memory? What memory is assumed by a society or nation? That is none other than history. Okay, history. So about history only we are going to study in this chapter. So history is like a memory which helps human being in their progress. So children, the picture which you can see here is Herodotus, who is the father of history. So he is known as father of history. Yes, like memory serves human to survive. History survives as memory for society, state, nation, and the whole world. So children, as memory serves human to survive, history also serves as a memory. The history acts as a memory for a society, nation, state, and the whole world. Okay, history is a record of good and wrong decisions, joyful and sorrowful experiences, and the difficulties faced by our ancestors. So this history is not only a record of good things or only a record of bad things. It comprises of both. It comprises of good and wrong decisions, joyful and sorrowful experiences, and difficulties which are faced by our ancestors. And besides, it warns the future decision making process. And also it was the future decision making process. How? So as history tells about the right and wrong decisions, joyful and sorrowful experiences, and the difficulties faced by our ancestors, so we should not do it again. Okay, so history helps us to not commit the mistake again. Okay, the principles, values, and ideologies of our ancestors in the history will be a model guiding force for their descendants. So, the principles of our ancestors, which are in the history, will be a model guiding force for their descendants. Their valor, adventurous patriotism, and sacrifices will inspire the next generations. So the valor, adventures, and patriotism and sacrifices of our ancestors will inspire their descendants or the next generation. And moreover, by introducing our culture and heritage, history arouses a feeling of pride and honor for our nation and world at large. So not only that, moreover, this history also introduces the culture and heritage of our nation, and it helps in developing a feeling of pride and honor to our nation and world at large. Okay, so now let's move on studying about the father of history, that is Herodotus. So Herodotus belongs to Greece, and he is the first to show the world how to construct this immensely valuable history. So this Herodotus was the first human being who was able to show how to construct this immensely valuable history. Hence he is known as or considered as the father of the history. So now let's study about the Sources. So the one who construct a history is an historian. They use historical evidences to be particular and authentic about history. So it is believed that there cannot be history without sources. Then, which are the sources of history? The sources of history can be classified into two groups. They are literary sources and archaeological sources. So, children, the historian who is one who construct the history. Okay, so these historians use historical evidences to be particular and authentic about the history. No, so it is believed that if there is no sources, no history. So now what are these sources? And the sources of history are classified into two groups. They are literary sources and archaeological sources. So these are the two types of sources which we are going to study in the next video. So for today it's enough. Thank you.